Imagine walking into your dream home and walking out $100,000 poorer than you needed to be. Most buyers overpay because they don't know what to ask, when to push, or when to walk away. But if you learn how to negotiate a property deal like a pro, you won't just own a home, you'll own the leverage that came with it. In this video, we're going to break it down step by step. You'll learn how to tell if a property is overpriced and how much you can realistically negotiate, which negotiation strategies work right now, even in competitive markets, and how to avoid getting played so you don't leave money on the table. Because when you understand how this really works, you won't just buy a home, you'll buy it smart. Now, before we get into the actual steps, I want you to shift how you think about pricing entirely. Because most buyers, they see the number on the listing and assume it reflects the true value, but it doesn't. You wouldn't walk into a store and assume that every handbag with a high price tag is worth it. You'd feel the stitching, check in the lining, maybe compare it to a few others. Homes are no different. The asking price doesn't tell you what it's really worth. It's a marketing tool, a starting point, not a destination. And once you see that clearly, everything else about the negotiations starts to make a lot more sense. So let's get into it. Here are the 6 smartest ways to negotiate a property deal and save big. Point 1. Reframe price with solution. The asking price is not the value. It's just the seller's opening argument. So what's the counter? Data. Step 1. Run comps. Find similar units that sold in the last 6 to 12 months, same layout, similar condition, ideally in the same building or just around the corner. Step 2. Look at the price per square foot. Is this unit priced higher than other units like it? By how much? Step 3. Factor in the condition. If it needs work, subtract the renovation cost. Don't just guess. Get an estimate or use your agent's pricing guide. When you have all that, you're no longer guessing, you're making an informed offer that actually reflects value. Point 2. Understand the seller. The best negotiators don't just look at the property, they look at the seller. Ask this, what's driving the sale? If the seller's relocating, they probably value speed. If they already bought their next home, they may need certainty. If they've dropped the price recently, they're probably getting nervous. Here's how you can find out. First, have your agent talk to the listing agent. The question is simple. What's most important to the seller? Next, read between the lines. If the unit's vacant, that's costing the seller money. If the listing went off and came back on, they may have had a deal fall through. Those are pressure points, and pressure points are leverage. Then, when you craft your offer, you can lead with exactly what the seller values most. Point 3. Time is leverage. If a property's been sitting on the market for 3 or 4 months, that is not just market noise, that is a negotiation opportunity. Here's how you use time to your advantage. Look for 2 signs. 1. Multiple price drops. 2. Stagnant listing activity. If there's been no new interest, the seller is likely frustrated and flexible. Then make your move. Submit a thoughtful, fact-based offer that's slightly below where you think value sits. But make sure you anchor it in logic. Reference comps, highlight condition, show you've done your homework. Don't just throw out a low number, justify it. That's what separates a smart buyer from a time waster. Point 4. Structure your offer. Your offer isn't just about the number, it's about how it's built. Think about your terms. Are you flexible on the closing date? Can you waive contingencies that aren't essential? Can you shorten your timeline for financing or board approval? Even things like offering a larger deposit or giving the seller a little post-closing occupancy can make your offer feel safer and stronger. Ask your agent what terms will help you stand out without taking on unnecessary risk. Point 5. Negotiate during due diligence. Let's say your offer gets accepted. You're excited. You're ready to move forward. But here's the part most buyers skip. Due diligence. This is when you or your attorney review everything behind the walls. Here's what to look for. Building health. Does it have solid reserves? Any lawsuits? Deferred maintenance? Hidden costs. Are there upcoming assessments? Is a building about to raise maintenance fees? Red flags. Any sign of poor management, financial instability, or repairs that keep getting kicked down the road? If something serious comes up, you can absolutely renegotiate or even walk. This phase protects you from buying into a bad situation. Point 6. Know when to walk. Sometimes the smartest move is no move at all. Here's how to know when to walk. If the seller won't come down and the value doesn't make sense on paper, walk. If your gut says this feels off, listen to it. And if every negotiation turns into drama, ask yourself, do I really want to spend years in a home that started with this much stress? You don't win by forcing a deal to happen. You win by staying aligned with what matters. Your numbers, your timing, and your lifestyle. Now you know how to negotiate a property deal like a pro. But just because you got down the price doesn't mean you got a great deal. Some homes are overpriced for a reason, and no negotiation tactic in the world can fix bad fundamentals. That's why in this next video, I'm going to walk you through 7 red flags to watch out for when buying a condo. Even if the place looks perfect on surface. Click the link, watch that next. Your future self will thank you.